Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 154. I remember this time. Yay. I'm Casey. What's up? Fair warning, there's going to be a lot of people talking over each other this week because we kind of have a full house. Minus Slicer.
Whatever happened to predictability? Milkman, the Paperboy, the evening TV. Everywhere you look. Come on, it's a theme song to Full House.
No one watched that show. This is in the 80s, Zero. Shut up!
If no one watched it, the Olsen twins wouldn't have become a thing. And while that might be a very, very slightly better world, then it's not really important. Anyway.
Oh, wrong decade, 90s. Continue.
So, Zero's here. He was singing a minute ago,
Hi.
doing
Yes.
what he does best, which is,
Ruin everything?
I was going to say annoy me, but yeah, call me. Guy's here.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Patience here. Kind of.
Everyone, I remain the only sane man on this broadcast, as far as I'm aware.
Samsy's overrated. Samsy's boring.
I would argue the point of view being the only one, but I have my moments. Arixum's here, surprise cast member because...
Hello, everybody! Your superstar is back for his annual appearance.
Yeah, it's like half an hour ago he found out, hey, I don't have to work today, so I can be on the episode. So it goes. And we have Kenji.
Hi, I'm Kenchi618. The best part of these pathetic jerks' day. And yours, too.
Ow, that was kind of weird.
Well,
I know, he's a very
it's
nasty
not really,
person,
not
isn't
really, not really the best part of the day. More like the best part of the week.
All right.
Oh, you must have a boring week.
Just correcting
No.
you there, right? Because we don't tend to talk every single day.
No.
Kinda hurts 'cause it's true.
I like it because it sounds better, so I'll take it.
I want a way that I could express my displeasure with Zero without just saying it because he just finds that funny, but I can't hang him up on the call anymore, and that still bothers me. I still miss being able to do that, but now I kind of have nothing. I could yell at him in the chat, I guess, but that just seems less effective than yelling at him normally.
Yell at me in the chat. I'll just counter you with emojis.
Yeah, you will, and that'll just make it worse, so...
Come now, Casey. You should come about developing more patience.
Stop it! Stop it!
It's good
Guy.
to know that you're the sane one.
Guy! What the fuck you been doing?
Oh, God. I have spent the week arguing with people, mostly, actually.
Sounds about normal for you, actually.
Yeah, I'm an engineer. Arguing with people is what I do, really. It's... God, that makes me feel miserable.
That makes you feel miserable, as opposed to how you've been every other time you've been on the podcast.
I have my moments.
Yeah, you can describe to them the time definition of moments, and that's the largest you could come up with, so... okay. So, you've been arguing with people.
Yeah, it's work thingy majiggy. It's we're doing moving all of our servers around. So across the entire company, there are 12 different servers, and then somehow we've got to try and figure out what's important on them, and try and get over all the backups without losing sure nobody loses their addresses or loses any history. And you've just got no idea. Imagine an entire company full of engineers and trying to argue with each one of them over the right way to store files. It's the most task ever. It really is. Because no engineer ever wants to admit that he's anything less than perfect.
I'm sorry.
They're a bit like Kenshi in that way.
I was about to say, you literally stole the words from my mouth, so...
I mean, you're either perfect or you're not me. So
How does that work?
you're either perfect or you're not me.
It works
He's
by
essentially
stealing
saying that
lines from Dragon
he's
Ball
perfect.
Abridged, which is like saying they're better than him because they wrote those words, not him. If he were that
No,
perfect, he would write his own material.
I'm gracing them with my acknowledgement that they wrote a good line by stealing.
he's trying to absorb them to become just like Perfect Cell.
I don't want to be like
Wouldn't
Perfect
he
Cell
be then
because
even more perfect?
no, because no, Perfect Cell's not perfect because he died. Perfect people don't die.
Also, that's literally the point of the line. There is no more perfect. You're either perfect or you're not. Me. So,
Moving on
What
from
are we
egoism.
talking about?
Guy,
I'm pretty sure that 90% of this whole podcast is just pure egotism. I mean, come on, it's...
hey,
I don't
how we
talk
do.
that much.
and I'm in charge.
I'm just a freeloader.
I don't even know why I'm here, really. It's just something to do.
Okay.
We need more self-deprecation in this podcast. Moving onwards.
Don't worry, we'll get to you eventually, Zero.
Yay!
But
Oh, come on, I must have talked enough now. Can I just leave it at that?
we got nothing else?
Well, I don't like talking about myself, to be honest. It always makes
Fucking
me
why?
feel uncomfortable. What am I meant to do? Just talk about myself? How boring is that? Ugh. Yeah, I just want to leave it there.
Okay, so Guy's section consists of meh, 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 I'm a whiny baby, meh, 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 meh. So let's move on to Zero, shall we?
Consists of 90% of the time. Come on.
So, time to bring the mood down in here. So I went to a funeral
Thanks.
for my grandma.
Zero.
And I have to, I just want you guys' opinion. Is it appropriate to take pictures at an open casket funeral?
No.
No. In fact,
Because that's what my step granddad was doing.
No.
Generally speaking, you don't take pictures at any funeral.
That's what he was taking pictures though. My step grandpa.
No.
So what was it
At
like taking a
at an
selfie or
open
something?
casket not a selfie, just pictures, and we're like, what are you going to, like, we're thinking, what are you going
Why?
to do with that picture?
Who wants to remember this?
So
And then we go to-
I'm here with my sister-in-law. She's a little stiff right now.
I mean, they were married for many years.
Okay, I thought it was the... Yeah, okay.
No. He was taking pictures at the open casket funeral, and I was a pallbearer, so I lifted the casket and everything alongside other young and old men alike. And we got to the place where we got to the graveyard, and we placed it atop this thing when they were going to lower it down into it and whatnot. They already had the hole dug, and he's still taking pictures.
Yeah, it's very not okay.
Yeah. I got to meet with family though. That was fun. I got to see family I'd not seen in a long time, or had not seen since I was a little baby and couldn't remember them at all. So that was fun, I guess. I mean, it's a funeral.
Not the best
And-
circumstances to reconnect, no.
Yeah, and I had to drive up with my grandpa and my mom, whereas my brother and my dad got to just take a plane and fly 45 minutes, whereas we had to drive 9 hours. So that was a very enjoyable experience, as you might guess. And, aside from funeral hijinks, I guess I can call that,
You really shouldn't, but okay.
I think my positivity is a good trait.
Nobody else does.
We got back and, there was an election. Yeah.
I
Somebody
feel like
won.
pissing Guy off today, so what did you think of the election, Zero? Let's talk about that for half an hour.
Why?
I can go to sleep. It's quite easy for me.
Yeah, there was an
You'll just
election.
fucking stop paying attention. It'll piss me off more.
There was an election. Some people were happy. Some people were sad. Some people were rioting. Some people were saying it's the end of the world. So, I'm just glad that we didn't start another civil war the instant somebody got sworn into office.
No,
No one's
nothing
sworn in
instant,
yet.
No. Yeah,
No
that
one's
hasn't
sworn
happened yet.
in yet.
No. Well, I mean, elected, rather. Because that's what Abe Lincoln happened. He got elected. And now, hey, we're seceding. So that hasn't happened. So, yeah. I mean, there's still time.
Now,
Your
over
very
here,
own
people are
state
talking
had
about
people talking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
California
yeah.
had people talking about it. California will not survive on its own. Those idiots need to realize that.
The problem is, like, Southern California is more red and Northern California is more blue. So you have red versus blue. Anyways, Rooster Teeth references aside, not much has really been going on this week. I've just had a lot of homework because I missed like a day of class, and I've been catching up on everything. Been going back to writing now. Took a bit of a break because I really wasn't in the mood for it with all the things that were happening. But yeah, I'm pressing forward. And that's it for my week.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. Mine is moderately short. Actually thinking about it, there are a couple things. So I had an interview end of last week. Very unexpectedly.
Oh
As in,
boy.
I got a phone call at like 9:30 in the morning from an agency, and they said, "Hey, you applied for this thing. Do you still want the job and stuff? Great. So your interview's in like 3 hours. Get ready." So yeah, that was a bit of a mad dash to get ready, and they didn't send me the address of the place that I was going to be going until like half an hour before I had to leave, and the place wasn't on any map. So that was
What exactly did you interview at?
DPD, delivery company.
Right.
Yeah.
So, wait, it's a delivery company and it's not on the map.
Well, the delivery company itself, like the dispatch place, was on the map, but I was interviewing at a call center that is like a couple of streets away from it, which was not on the map.
So are you going to be working, like, would the job be to be in the call center?
It was in the call center, yeah. So I almost certainly didn't get that, since the reason it was like a last-minute interview thing, where I got 3 hours to prepare, was because they needed someone to start next week, or rather this week, like Monday. So not getting the call probably means I didn't get it, just at a guess. But
Yeah, well, I can tell you one thing. Working at a call center would be very, very not fun
it's a
and
job.
awful.
They tend to not be fun.
Yes, but call centers are particularly awful.
It's not
I've
a
only
sales
heard-
job, it's customer service. There's a difference.
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
pure
that's worse.
It's
customer
really
service.
not. It depends on your temperament.
Come now. Don't you remember...
My toaster isn't working. Did you plug it in? Oh. Okay, thank you.
You deal with a lot of idiots. You have to deal directly with people like that.
God.
Yeah,
I
but
hate
it's
working with
called,
people on the phones.
okay, tell me all about your problem. Okay, this is how you fix your problem. Yes, that is how you fix your problem. If it doesn't work, you need to call someone else. Okay, you can stop your... Fine, whatever. Okay. Have a good day then, sir, madam. Put the phone down. And you don't have to deal with them ever again. Who cares?
I think it's going to be that simple, but it's customer service.
And you say I'm optimistic.
Honestly, I don't see why you're complaining about it so much. After all, in every job that's to be done, there is an element of fun. You find the job fun,
Shut
and snap! The job's a game.
I really thought you were going to say patience there. There's an element of patience.
I would have preferred that actually.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so yeah, didn't get that job. Okay, fine, whatever. Game that came out last week. Said I was going to talk about it this week, and I'm talking about it this week. Tyranny. Made by Obsidian, the ones that do the good RPGs that are occasionally buggy because they always get rushed out by publishers that are assholes. It is an isometric tactical RPG, same style as Pillars of Eternity or Baldur's Gate and such.
Okay, so it's point and click.
That's the one, yep. Basic main thrust of the plot of this one is the bad guys won already, more or less. The evil overlord Kairos has taken over the land, and you are basically the enforcer of one of his enforcers.
Mm.
And it is your job to go throughout the land and establish and enforce law and order.
All right.
And you know that faction stuff that they really, really like to do?
Yeah.
That is really important in this one.
I'll bet.
Like,
so it's
considering
it's
the
a game.
premise.
It's a game that broke you into recreational gooning.
I don't know what that means.
You're
Recreational
First,
goon.
it's not
You're a
gooning.
goon.
You're a goon. You're a bad guy's goon.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Like, you are high enough on the totem pole that, like, the way it works is Kairos has these enforcers called Archons. They are the big guys, and you are one of the enforcers of these big guys. But the one you are beholden to, that big guy, is basically the biggest guy. So even though you're technically lower on the totem pole, you can go to other big guys and say, you will do this, and they will... There's a very good chance that they will go along with it.
Hmm.
I say a very good chance because if you push them far enough, again, bringing back that faction stuff that is really important, then they will push back. And that can be very bad. So, like I say, the faction stuff is really important because it's all about balancing, trying to play diplomat and keep everyone to a acceptable level of satisfaction with what happens. And because it's a nation of evil overlords and bastards picked out by the biggest bastard of all bastards, you are basically trying to play diplomat between dickheads of various stripes.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's fun, it's kind of depressing, and there's actual difficulty in the dialogue system as much as there is in the combat, which is a nice change of pace from things like Mass Effect, where it's just pick the blue option or the red option, and you will win. It doesn't particularly matter which, you will win either way. There's a lot more nuance to it, and it works a lot better in that sense.
Like, conceptually and just from the premise and how you mentioned everything about the dialogue, I'm interested in it, but I really hate point and click.
Yeah, because you are a whiny console baby, is why. But
Because I am a console baby. That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you for your compliment.
Sorry that our game is a bit too highbrow and, complex and deep for you.
Yeah, it
Don't worry.
completely is, obviously.
Wow, Casey, that beret and turtleneck you're wearing sure sounds comfortable from here.
I'm gonna complain about Shakespeare in half an hour. Don't push me. All right.
Oh, yeah, gonna get them turtle shell glasses on too. All right, they're in waiting.
Okay. So yeah, that's a really good game. I put like 20 hours into it already. Having a lot of very depressing fun with it. Because like I say, it's... Like, the tutorial section took me about 10 hours, and by the end of it, one of my party members was already threatening to leave.
Well, they probably have good reason for you.
Yeah, I didn't
wanting
pick
to
his
leave.
faction, basically. It was.
Oh,
it
I
was
was going to
the
say,
reason
because you
for
took
it.
too long the tutorial. 2 hours. Really?
Yeah. The whole first section of the game is basically trying to curb a dispute between two rival warlords so that they can actually kill the enemy that they're supposed to be killing. And you get a party member from each of these factions. So one of them, if you pick one, then that faction's party member will be okay with it. If you pick the other, then there will be a problem and a very, very potentially violent disagreement between you and that party member.
Well,
So,
here's what you do. Whether you're party member, you take off all their equipment and just leave them naked. So if there is a dispute, you just kind of beat them down.
Yeah, the thing is, and I like this about this game a lot, is a lot of the outcomes of these situations, like you think, okay, I've just let this, say, rebel leader go when I was supposed to kill them. I let them go, but then the commanders of the armies that I'm leading are like, oh, that's okay. Well, the captains, rather, of the forces that I'm leading that say, oh, that's okay. I'm sure you had a good reason for it. She's going back to, spread fear of us to her rebel army and such things. That's fine, don't worry about it. But then you go to the guys that actually matter, the, full generals, commanders of the army, and they're like, you did what? And this is like an hour later in the game. So it doesn't let you just pick the option to see what happens, to see what the consequences are, and try and pick the right one based on that. You actually have to keep playing to find out how things play out. So you can't just save scum and pick the best option based on how it turns out. Unless you want to play like an extra 20 hours into one playthrough, because you have to keep going back and forth. Everything's gone quiet. So
I mean, I have nothing to say.
no comments, because no one cares about RPGs, because everyone's whiny console babies. But yeah, so I really like that game, and if you like that style of like the Obsidian writing and things like that, that's all still very much there. I know one of the main writers for Obsidian decided to quit after Pillars of Eternity, I think it was. But the pedigree is still there. You can still see the quality and the effort that goes into it. It's still very good. So it's a good game. People should play it. Who hasn't gone yet? Zero's gone. Guy was a miserable fuck nugget and didn't say anything.
I said something. Pretty sure I said at least one word.
Oh yeah, he said he argued with everyone. That's what he said. I remember now. My mind was triggered by something of, like, the memory was unlocked by something similar happening. I don't know, it'll come to me. Anyway, Patient, what have you been doing this week?
As per usual, I don't have anything all that out of the ordinary to report. Just another week at college. The Thanksgiving break is next week, so that'll be pleasant, spending time at home with my family. And most of my professors have canceled class for next week, so that's nice too. I mean, the university only gives, technically only gives Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and the weekend off of classes. So,
yeah, quick aside, sorry about this, Patient. Quick aside. What day's Thanksgiving on?
Thursday.
It's next Thursday. It's always the fourth Thursday in November.
Okay.
That would be the 24th, I believe.
It would. It's just that we would be recording on Thursday next week, which obviously we can't do then.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
That would be... Yeah. So, yeah. looking forward to that. And not much else to note. I started playing. I started a new game on Donkey Kong 64, one of my favorite games, and established a new hatred for a very certain rabbit. Any of you played the game, you know what I'm talking about.
Bugs Bunny?
I haven't played that game since forever. Jeez.
I'm sorry, could you say that again, Erickson? It sounded like you just said playing that game takes forever.
No, I'm sorry. I said I haven't played that game in forever.
It's a good game. Very good game. Never becomes any less fun, except for that rabbit. It's literally impossible to win that particular race unless the AI screws up. So yeah. But I managed it without too much difficulty altogether, and I'm about an hour of gameplay away from beating the game 101% for fifth time.
Isn't that the game you have to play through like 4 times, and it's all the exact same game?
No. Donkey Kong 64 has 3 save files. That's about the closest to what you're describing that I can get.
No, I mean, because there's like 4 different characters, and you have to play through each level, and they're only slightly different each time, because the characters are slightly different. No?
That's definitely not it. Donkey Kong 64, you have 5 different characters that you can switch between, and each has their own sections of the level that they can take care of.
Yeah, my mic was not working for some reason. But yeah, I've played Donkey Kong 64. Love that game.
Pretty good.
Very good game.
That DK rap can go die in a fire.
No, that DK rap is special.
It's really
Second
not.
Dead.
Well, that's because you're both...
It's beautiful.
You're both
Which are you
lame.
seconding, Patient? The good or the bad?
The good. I mean, I won't deny it's probably due to nostalgia that I like it so much, but I like it.
His coconut gun.
Shut up! I don't want to hear it. God,
Shoots you.
shut up!
In other news,
you should listen to Big Bad Bosses. There is a song on their first album that features Grant Kirkhope, who wrote the DK rap, and it apes it a little bit. Pardon the pun.
Frickin' Ukulele is gonna have a Grant Kirkhope rap, and I'm so happy.
God, he can't rap though. That's the thing.
I know, that's why people want him, because he can't.
'Cause I don't give a fuck. I'm Grant Kirkhope.
In related news, Donkey Kong 64 is available in the Nintendo Store for anyone with a Wii or a Wii U. I recommend it.
Yeah, go get that. It's a good game.
Sure, okay.
So, that's pretty much it. Nothing else out of the ordinary. Oh, except for the fact that the list is just about finished.
Yay! You'll have to send me that just in case you can't be on an episode for whatever reason.
I will once the final list is compiled. And out of curiosity, once it's done, there are a lot of anime that I put on there that have English names that they go by better. And I was wondering if I could just
Just go by whatever the names are on there. It's fine.
Oh dear. Okay, moving on. Whoever's next.
Thank you,
Kill
Kenji. You can't see any of this, audience, but oh my god, the typing in the chat, I hate it so much. Anyway, Ericsson, I'd ask what you've been doing this week, but that's a little bit limiting since you haven't been on for a year. So, the fuck you been doing?
Geez, well, I haven't been on in actually a little bit longer than a year. Like, I tried being on, if I remember, the New Year's episode. I overslept.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think it was like on Thursday at like 9 in the morning, and I was like, fuck it.
Thanks. Appreciate that you woke up and you're like, I don't care.
I'm pretty sure I had an excuse for that day too, but knowing me, it was probably just like, I don't want to do this now. First day off in forever, and Christmas rush is just awful.
Definitely.
Other than that, every now and then I'll have some story, some life-changing event to where I would think in the back of my mind, I should probably do this on a podcast. Ow.
What
Is that dial-up?
God damn it.
Explains a
Guy.
lot.
Is Splicer trying to get in here?
No, he's not. No, that was Kai.
So anyways, I don't remember any of those stories at all. Like, period.
You had a period?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, guy's just playing silly buggers with his audio again.
So what am I doing? Oh, I was actually trying to mute myself there. Well, just something else.
You very much
What
were
happened?
not doing that. It's
Ah,
not what
okay.
you're doing at all.
Well, yeah. I don't think my mute button works then.
Okay, good to know. Erickson, you want to carry on?
Yeah, well, that's pretty boring. Wake up, go to work, come home, rinse and repeat. Been doing that forever.
I hear you.
Life. So what I've been doing this past couple weeks, I've been working on my stories. I'm taking a break from fan fiction finally to work on some original stuff, trying to get that published. I'm almost done with an actual story for once, which is weird, because I have like 12 books, and not one of them is finished.
Zero? Knock it off. Thank you.
I'll stop with Linky King posting in the chat. Linky King. Linky Kong. Linky King. Whoosh.
So Skyrim came out for PS4, and me being poor can't afford it. So
Oh yeah.
I instead dug up one of my old games I bought probably like a year or two ago. Elder Scrolls Online, and me and my friends been playing that.
Oh hey, Elder Scrolls Online. That game still has people playing it.
Yes, actually. Quite a few.
So much so that the servers crash every now and then. Anyways, the only thing I don't like is, well, I don't like MMOs at all, because it takes forever to level up, to get somewhere. Versus my friend who bought Skyrim, who I've been playing this game for the past month or two. He played Skyrim in a week, and he already passed me up on everything.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm finally done with Destiny. Destiny itself didn't piss me off. It was my raid team that did it. Like, we were trying to beat this raid on normal mode, and our team leader is giving us commands that are just all over the place. So the boss would teleport to the right, he would say he's on the left.
Maybe he doesn't know right from left. That happens
That's what we keep
sometimes.
saying.
Or he's basing it on his perspective, and that's not how you need to do it. You're talking about
Ask
the new
him.
raid, right?
Yeah, the new raid.
Yeah.
Ask him if he can give you the directions in starboard, and just say ship directions. That might work better.
I don't think he's intelligent enough to decipher that.
Well, if he doesn't know left and right, then he should learn ship directions.
So let's see. Well, another point was when he died, he didn't tell us. He went up to use the restroom. So this is like while we're still running around doing our thing, and then, okay, we managed to recover. We picked him back up, and he's just standing there doing nothing, not fulfilling his role, and we ended up losing.
Did he suddenly get on there and just run into the boss and shout Leroy Jenkins?
A couple times. Oh, but I think
It's
what
always
really
it's
broke...
always funny the first time. The second
Yeah, it
time
is.
it kind
The
of loses
second.
its luster.
I think it was gone the 10th time around, because after that whole thing, what really broke us was that he tried blaming it on us. Like, oh, why didn't you tell me?
Can you tell somebody if they're offline?
I know. So I'm done with the game. My team sucks.
In fairness, so Activision and whomever else works on that, Bungie? I think it was Bungie.
Bungie, yeah.
They're pretty much done with it too. It's just the next one. So.
Yep.
Great.
Lastly, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch.
Boo.
Like,
I'm not linking to Overwatch again.
Like, I'm really having a lot of fun with this newest update. Newest character was introduced called Sombra. She's a hacker, and she can nullify all of your special attacks. And my god, it's just not fair. In competitive mode, well, I don't think you can play as her in competitive mode. Other than that, yeah, that's my life. Writing, work, and video games.
Yay, video games. Also
Yay.
the writing thing, I guess, but work can go suck it.
I hate having to work up front. My customers are nothing but teenagers and parents.
Casey,
Just awful.
Casey, why would you consider writing to be work rather than fun? Why would any form of art
I didn't say I
be
do.
considered more work? Well, you seem to imply that.
No, I said video games, yay. Writing too, I guess, but work can suck it, is what I said.
Okay, simply a misunderstanding on my part then. Carry on.
Okay. Kenchua,
Yeah.
what you been doing this week? How's the Trump coverage thing going?
I'm done with it. The election's over. I don't give a fuck anymore. No one
Oh.
gives a fuck anymore.
Cool.
Everyone gives a fuck.
Well, no one gives a fuck till you actually get sworn in. Then people give a fuck. Till then, I don't really have anything to do with that anymore other than just, hey, here's what he's doing. All right, I'm going to go back to doing regular news now. That's pretty much the extent of my coverage at this
Yeah.
point.
Apparently the big story was that he went to dinner without supervision.
How dare he go and eat steak?
Where he can get shanked by some random dude.
Yeah, that's very likely in all honesty.
At this point, kind of. Yeah.
Aside from that, because I'm not talking about that, because I'm done with that, because I don't talk about work.
Yeah, you do.
I talk about things that I go through. I don't talk about the actual processes of my work because I don't want to do that. It
Okay.
annoys me. That's neither here nor there. I finally stopped being lazy and got a 2 terabyte hard drive for my PlayStation 4. At last.
Okay.
So now I don't have to keep uninstalling and reinstalling things. Of course,
How many
laziness.
games do you have that's a problem?
Do you want me to count them now?
Like, one game would be like, what, 25 to 50 gigabytes? Somewhere around there? So you have to have, like, a lot of games.
But here's the thing. The bigger ones like Grand Theft Auto and Battlefield and stuff take up upwards of 50. So, yeah. And in addition to all the other things that are on the hard drive, 500 gigs isn't enough. Not even close.
Mm.
So, yeah. Of course, I'm too lazy to install it right now. So it's just sitting in front of my PlayStation just waiting to go in.
Hey,
When it
Kenji,
does,
I
it'll be
kind of
glorious.
feel you. This plastic wrapping sound that you're probably slightly hearing right now is the sound of the packing for my hard drive that I still haven't put in my computer. So, you know, I feel you.
Yeah, I don't want to reinstall everything. I don't want to
Again,
do
we're
that.
on the same page. We're like simpatico right now.
Guess I'll do, I don't know when I'll do it, but sometime. It has to happen eventually.
Yeah, I mean, like 6 months from now, maybe.
No, it'll happen sometime this week. Maybe tomorrow. If
All
I
right,
feel
Kenshi
like it.
has a work ethic. Sorry, I forgot about that bit.
All right. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh yeah, I had a wrestling thing on Saturday. That was like a full state away. That was fun, except for the driving to it and driving from it part. Almost died on the way home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was more tired than I thought I was when I started driving home. I almost fell asleep like 6 times.
Mm.
There was one point where I blinked, or I thought I blinked, and the road like jumped ahead by 6 feet, like more than it should have for a blink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the point where you pull over and take a nap in your car.
That's not what I did. I wanted to go
I
home
didn't
and
say
sleep
it was
in
what
my-
you did. I said it's what you should have done. I know you well enough to know that's not what you did.
But yeah. Shut up. I made it back. I'm One Piece. I'm invincible. Yeah, it was a good experience. Good show. Had a good time. Maybe they'll invite me back. I don't know. I hope so. We'll see. Because I can do that stuff now. Because I don't work weekends anymore. Let's see what else has I been doing. Oh yeah. For some reason, my dad brought this like aluminum perch, like put up in a tree, like over a hunting platform when he's like hunting deer and stuff. And he borrowed money for me to get it, and then it came yesterday, and I was like, "How in the hell is that going to support you?" I looked at it because he was putting it together, like downstairs, and I was like, "How is that supposed to support you?" He's like, "It'll work." And I'm like, "How are you going to get down from there? What if you fall out?" And he gave me an answer to everything. I don't believe him, but we will wait and see on that one. I also know what I'm going to get him for Christmas now too. A gigantic fake deer for him to shoot at in the backyard.
You're very fond of doing things in the backyard, aren't you?
I mean, why not? It's what it's for. Where would you
Okay.
suggest I do? Where would you suggest I do things?
I have no idea. I don't know where I was going with that, to be perfectly honest.
There you go. I don't think I have anything else. I haven't really done anything. Oh yeah, I'm done playing the NBA 2K16 with my friends. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible.
So we've heard.
They have no sense of teamwork, and they swear they're good, but if they're good, all sense of, actually knowing how tends to go out the window when they play online. And I know why they're bad, in theory. It's because to build your character in the first place, you have to play the My Career mode, which is basically you're playing for yourself. You're just drafted to a team, and you got to play through the season. And you're trying to get as high a stats as you can to get as many points as you can that you can then transfer into, things. Like things to buy for your stuff, like your clothes and your animations, like for your shot movements and everything, and your stats.
Yeah, basically everybody's good at doing their own thing.
Yeah. And that doesn't work when you're actually, playing an action that will double team you when they realize you're a ball hog.
If everybody's a ball hog, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
They don't play their positions, exactly.
Yeah.
I created a center, which is the most boring character to create. I'm just basically the big man that gets rebounds. So we would have a balanced team, but no one plays the game to, take advantage of that. They go too fast, and they go too fast and don't let me get to where I'm supposed to be. They don't let me get in the position to get rebounds or be a threat in the paint, like close to the basket where I can get easy shots while they, lure everyone else away by, being faster.
Real quick, I know nothing about this game. Can you play online with like a full team with 12 people? No. How many people on basketball?
10 people.
5 people per team.
Yeah, can you really?
Yes.
30 people. No.
Yes, you can.
I played basketball when I was a little kid,
We're not talking about real basketball, Zero.
and I don't remember how to play it.
course you don't.
I don't remember all the positions. Probably because I never learned them in the first place.
No little kid knows how to play basketball.
There's a center, because Kenshi said it. There's point guard.
What does he do, Casey?
Which?
Guards the points.
Point guard.
Defense, I assume?
No.
Oh.
Offense.
You're wrong. They play both sides of the ball, you idiots. Good Lord. Everyone does both sides of the ball, offense and defense.
Yeah, but the point guard's like the closest to your own basket, right?
Oh, point guard's like that one role in soccer. Got it.
What's the one role in soccer, Zero?
I don't know what it's called. I just remember what it is.
What does he do, Zero? That's not descriptive.
The guy in soccer, he stays near the middle and tends to play offense or defense as is needed.
That's not a role in soccer.
Oh, okay. So I'm wrong.
That's very not a thing.
All right, we're going to move on now before you embarrass yourself further. I'm done.
I don't know sports ball. I think this has been established before.
Well, Sports Ball was a podcast on Rooster Teeth, but if you're talking about sports, then you don't know that either. No, you don't. No.
You guys make me sad sometimes.
I know baseball. Right. That's about it.
Why would anyone know baseball?
Baseball is awesome.
Yeah, I know baseball, but that's just because...
That's just because I watch baseball anime is why I know baseball.
Just because I'm an athletic American adult male is why I know baseball.
Just because I played baseball for several years means I know baseball.
In fairness, I did also watch basketball anime, and I don't know fuck all about basketball still.
Well, that's fair. I don't know anything about basketball, but I do know a lot about baseball. I don't play it, don't care for it, but because I'm American, I know it.
Yeah, because you got taught it in PE.
Yeah.
Gym class, whatever you want to call it.
Moving on.
Yeah, let's do things.
Yeah.
What else?
Also, I forgot something else.
What?
About my week. Like, literally about an hour or two ago, I ordered takeaway. So when the takeaway guy gets here, I went down to answer the door, open the door, and I'm assuming my downstairs neighbor, I don't actually know, but I'm assuming, has put blue Christmas lights over the top of my door without me noticing. And all the way down the walkway down the side of my house. So, yeah. That was a thing that happened at some point today.
I never really understand why people put up Christmas decorations so early. I mean, at this point, I suppose it's not unreasonable, but really, before Black Friday, it seems like it's just...
In this case, there's a bit of dual purpose to it, because, like, I said it's down the side of my house. Down that walkway, it is literally pitch black at, like, well, by about 6 this time of year. So you cannot see while walking down there, and there are steps. So there's a good reason to put lights there, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Also, why would they use blue? Those blue Christmas lights are awful.
Nah, I like them.
So do I, actually.
I prefer multicolored because I'm a rainbow kind of guy.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Pretty colors. It's cool. I don't care what Kenji's insinuating. I like rainbows.
Yeah, you do. Moving on.
Zero doesn't know what he's insinuating either.
I do.
So, anime this week was... It was Romeo X Juliet. Yeah. That was some...
Loosely based off William Shakespeare.
In general, yes.
Work. Yeah.
William Shakespeare in general.
They didn't follow any of the canon at all?
So, this is called Romeo X Juliet. It opens with a coup. The Montagues are murdering all of the Capulet family, who are the ruling family of Neo Verona.
Yeah, Neo, in case you wanted to know if it was new or not.
Whoa. I'm sorry about that joke. Anyway, so Juliet of the Capulet family, naturally, escapes, gets saved by a guardsman, I assume. And then the theme song plays, and appropriately enough, they got like a Japanese Celine Dion knockoff, so actually pretty fitting for, a Romeo and Juliet story.
Hey, and fantasy creatures exist too, by the way, in case...
Oh yeah, there's Pegasus.
Goddamn Pegasus!
Yeah.
For no reason, really. They're just there.
Yeah. I think the city's in the sky or something, so it's a little bit of sense. Anyway. So, theme song plays, and then time skip to the future, and the now Montague soldiers are hunting down, like, lost Capulet family members. Someone makes a false accusation, and they're about to kill an innocent girl, and a mysterious masked man shows up and starts talking in Shakespeare, paraphrase
Tuxedo
quotes.
Mask? What is this, a crossover episode?
Here's the thing. It is kind of a crossover episode of sorts, because we started with Macbeth, and then we move forward to someone that is named Odin. Funnily enough, I did actually look this up and check whether that's actually a reference to Shakespeare or anything, because there's a lot of those in this show, by the way.
It's all just a reference to the Shakespeare verse.
Odin.
The Shakespeare cinematic universe.
Only reference to Odin I found from Shakespeare would be a 2001 modern-day retelling of Othello, where the title character was named Odin.
Great.
Yeah.
So
at the very least, they had a character named Cordelia from King Lear.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure whether the Othello thing is like an intentional nod or not, because
I don't think so.
The character does actually talk in Othello quotes during that scene.
Maybe.
So,
Actually, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does this anime at all feature fairies?
So, funny that you should mention that. Anyway,
Yeah.
So, moving on, Juliet stops the execution of the innocent girl and makes her escape. During this, Romeo, who is, as nobles do, sipping on tea, looks over and sees her running away from his own soldiers and decides, I'm going to help that masked vigilante escape from my soldiers for no reason.
Yeah, literally no reason. I just saw this person, so I might as well.
Maybe he just gets really bored. I can understand that one.
He's a noble and he'll do whatever the fuck he wants is kind of what nobles do. He goes and rides his Pegasus that I thought was named Benvolio for a while, until I found out that no, that was his friend.
His friend, the actual character from Romeo and Juliet.
That scene was framed really poorly because that's genuinely what I thought at the time. But yeah, he goes and rides his Pegasus and saves Juliet. And she's all tsundere about it and is like, fuck you. And goes off.
Here's another thing. He's a noble. He can just tell the guards, hey, screw off, I got this. And he doesn't have to run away from them with her.
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, she goes home to meet... Oh, I wrote down the names. It was
Willie.
Curio and Francisco, who are the people that she lives with, who take care of her, one presumes, who are also bit characters in Twelfth Night and Hamlet, respectively.
Oh, and then we get to Willie.
Yeah, and then there is a scene with William Shakespeare, and the character complains that people don't like his plays because they're too complicated.
Yeah.
Which is kind of rich from a show that takes one of the simplest Shakespeare plays ever written and then adds Pegasi, a floating city, a coup, a self-insert, technically, and a bunch of characters from other plays with no discernible explanation for any of it.
And the word Neo in front of Verona.
Because, why not?
So, yeah. And Juliet is masquerading as a man to hide from the Montague soldiers because they're killing all the girls that might be Capulets. So, it's Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, and Twelfth Night at this point.
Yep.
Then there is a ball that's going to be happening, and Romeo is supposed to be hosting this ball alongside the Montague family because they're nobles and all that stuff, and that's what they do. And Juliet is roped into going to the ball, so it's kind of a role reversal from the actual play, kind of, I guess. And Romeo is supposed to be wooing this woman named Lady Hermione.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that a fun one?
Yep. So that was a character from Midsummer Night's Dream, if people aren't familiar. Again, a bit character. Sorry?
I don't remember her in that story.
She was
Is she like a
Puck's
side
kid.
character?
Puck's kid.
Huh.
Yeah. So that's there's a lot of bit characters from other plays in this for no reason. So he's supposed to be wooing her, and he just constantly remembers Juliet, and they end up serendipitously meeting at a fountain because Juliet runs from the ball because she sees Montague Sr., who killed her dad. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. And the music, I'll give credit to the music because...
Yeah, the music is a welcome addition.
It was good, it was nice, it was very romantic strings, but it kind of had an undercurrent of, this could go badly kind of thing.
Oh, hey, what's love? Love is something you give your life for.
Oh God, I didn't even mention that.
Yeah, you're both sides. Like, what's love? Oh, you give your life for that. Oh, you sacrifice everything
Yeah.
for that.
You know,
Cool.
Because that's not clumsy foreshadowing at all, was it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It really did feel like a Romeo and Juliet fan fiction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Well, it is.
animated.
That's the thing. That's the one thing I got from this show. The creator of this show was a fan. He or she was, I didn't actually look into it, an absolute fan. That they knew to put in all these little characters from other plays and all these references and using quotes from other plays and stuff into the dialogue of the show. They were really big into Shakespeare. But for me, specifically, all that did was remind me I could be reading or watching Shakespeare right now instead. So, yeah, kind of backfired in that respect.
I'm a bit upset they didn't have a "I do bite my thumb, sir."
Yeah, that's like...
That was in there?
It's silly as balls nowadays, but that's like one of my favorite scenes from Romeo X Juliet. Romeo and Juliet. Oh god.
It's like it's how it opens. It's they have the argument, and then it's like, "Yes, I do bite my thumb, sir."
Yeah. It's fucking great.
No, it's "I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir."
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? No, sir. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
No, but I do bite my thumb, sir. Yeah.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, it's essentially something that someone would be looking for if they were looking for Shakespeare fan fiction.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, I'm searching now. Is there actually
Is
Shakespeare
this
fan
something
fiction?
that you
Absolutely.
would recommend?
I mean,
So-
the animation and the music are both pretty stellar.
Yeah. You know, that recommendation that Slicer gave, I think it was a couple weeks ago, the Fox of Overwatch, where it was one of those giant mashup stories where all the things that the writer thinks are cool get put together in one setting.
Yeah, that was last week, I believe.
Fair play. This is pretty much that for Shakespeare. So, yeah, if that's your bag, you can fucking go for it, but good God, I didn't like this one. Like, not in a general way, but in a way that kind of hits close to home, and it's things that I actually care about and don't want to see kind of...
Apparently there's Shakespeare slash as well.
Absolutely.
It did feel like they were leaving out, I think, kind of... Like, Shakespeare's stuff, there is an element more of silliness and humor at times. I want them to get more and more just complicated and use Shakespeare tropes. Like, hey, you're going to sleep with somebody. We'll send somebody else. and say it's you, and it'll work out perfectly. Or, oh, you need to do this. You're going to sneak into her room by hiding in in a trunk that you leave in her room for several hours. Just do all the crazy Shakespeare stuff.
Ado, but I don't know which one.
I was referring to, I believe, was it Cymbeline, where the character wants to prove to his friend to win a bet that he was able to sleep with his wife, or to-be wife, the girl he was in love with. So he sneaks into her room by going into his trunk that he leaves there. He's like, oh, can I leave my stuff here? And then writes down notes about all the room and steals some stuff from her. And it's like, yeah, I have all this proof.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they're referring to about Shakespeare plays being too complicated. I mean, it's complicated for the sake of being silly. Whereas this show was just more, oh, it's cute romantic comedy silly, and that's not as interesting.
It felt more anime than Shakespeare, and I feel like with a Shakespeare anime, you gotta have a balance in the other direction.
You gotta balance it, yeah.
Okay, new anime. Pick it.
I wanted this to be good. I really did. I was considering watching the whole thing, just to give it a fair shot. I can't do that.
You knew better, damn it.
I didn't. I really wanted to believe, because I figured, oh, they're doing a coup thing. That sounds a lot like, oh, I bet they're just gonna mix everything. Oh, that actually could be really good if they do it well. I'm gonna give this a fair shot and see if they actually manage to pull it off. They didn't manage to pull it off. So.
All right.
What's an anime based off Macbeth? That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
If they just followed it exactly.
There is actually a Japanese adaptation of Macbeth. I think it was called Throne of Blood. It's a Kurosawa film. It's actually really good, and you should totally watch it.
Cool. I love Macbeth. I was in the play Macbeth once. I played Macduff.
That's a pretty good role. Fair play.
Yeah.
So for selecting the new...
Go ahead, patient.
For selecting the new anime, if the first roll is anything but 27, that is Z, then I've got it finished.
Well, that's good, because this is 2.
B!
A!
Oh.
A.
Numbers are first. I forgot.
115.
Alrighty then. Quick on the draw.
Yeah, this is the benefit of actually having all this stuff.
39.
39, and the winner is Alien 9.
Alien 9.
Okay. New one on me.
Alien 9 is... Well...
What in the blue hell is this?
Oh, Christ.
Otani Yuri, much to her disgust, has been elected by her class for alien fighting duty. Together with Tonime Kasumi, who joined the alien fighter simply for the sake of doing so, and Kawamura Kumi, who became an alien fighter to avoid the responsibility of yet another year of class presidency. She must defend her school from periodic alien attacks.
Introspection, fear, anxiety, and friendship await Yuri as she is forced to stare life itself in the mouth in her chaotic coming of age.
Yeah.
Well...
I think this is only 4 episodes. It might not even be...
It is. It's 30 minutes.
Okay.
27 minutes to be exact.
That's an unfortunate circumstance.
Unless, of course, Guy or Erixum decides to veto it.
That's a good point. Arxum gets one. He's technically a full cast member. If he wants to veto it, he can. He wouldn't have to watch it anyway because he's probably not going to be on next week.
I don't know. I kind of want to watch it because
you're actually off next week, so you could be on next week if you want to.
Yeah, I could.
Or you could veto this and we could not watch Alien 9.
I don't know.
And we can watch a
You
good
guys
anime
don't
and we can all
sound
comment on it.
about it, so...
You have no idea what else we're going to get, so don't even... We've done this before, Casey. We beat on something, got something worse right after.
I should make you guys just watch it.
I mean, I don't give a shit.
Don't be Guy. We already have one of those and he already sucks.
If you use your veto, there's a chance we could get something worse. So use your veto.
Damn. Alright, I'm going to go with 0. I veto it.
Okay.
Full roll. 27.
Starting over.
All right then. Interesting.
19.
19. That's R.
R. Again? Damn. Is it R? I don't know. I'm not on the page.
Ooh, we could get ReZero in here. I like ReZero.
Is it R?
It's 19 is all, yeah.
Okay, yeah. The number is 53.
Okay, come on. Please be something good. There's lots of good animes in the R section.
24.
24. And the winner is Regalia, the Three Sacred Stars.
That doesn't sound great, but we'll see.
Oh, I've heard of that before.
Sounds familiar.
Summer 2016. It came out like 3 months ago.
Yeah. That's why I know of it. I saw the things.
Yep. Sisters
giant
Yui and
robot
Rina
attacks.
live a peaceful life in the kingdom of whatever that says.
And Astoria.
Sure.
But they become involved in a vortex of destiny when a giant robot attacks in Astoria. It's action, mecha, and sci-fi. I like mecha.
I'll bet you
All
do.
right.
Okay,
Right.
sure, why not?
It certainly doesn't look bad.
Kind of generic, but, could be cool.
Yeah, generic, that's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wait, the Three Sacred Stars. That sounds familiar for some reason.
I know it does. I don't know why.
This anime wouldn't have anything to do with people having hand sex to make children, would it?
Casey, what kind of anime do you watch, man?
It's not
That's
an
what we
anime.
call the game Conception
game.
2, which we're playing on the channel right now.
Well, technically, we've lapsed in episodes.
Well, yeah, but there was a lot of stuff happening. That was borking. I was
Yeah,
having to go to a funeral.
all that stuff, yeah. Okay. I'd be more
There's
interested
no
if that
comments on
was
this
something
page.
that's in this fucking anime, but, we'll see how it goes.
We must create babies to have them pilot mechs.
Actually, no, that's very obviously a child. I'm doubling back on that one. That's not something I want to see, even if it is just hand sex.
So did we decide on the anime?
Unless Guy
Yes.
wants to veto this one as well. Didn't think so.
Regalia, the Three Sacred Stars.
I still think Vito should roll over.
I don't. You shouldn't get rewarded for not fucking using it.
Why? I think it shows great restraint.
So you can just not use it the next year as well?
I mean, I'm not
Stockpile that shit? No,
I mean,
use
not-
it or lose
I
it,
mean-
motherfucker.
I mean, not for Guy, because he doesn't even watch these anyway. But for, like, me, or Zero, someone who actually...
Just
does
give
it.
me more vetoes.
If he has the fortitude to stand up and watch some of these things and doesn't do it for a year, he deserves another...
You know when this is
veto.
going to matter to you, Ken? 14 months from now, and that's assuming you don't use yours.
Exactly!
See, he's planning in advance.
in other news, I just put the last one in the Z section, so the list is officially complete.
Yay! Patience
The
awesome.
list of patience. Because it probably took a lot of fucking patience to make that list.
Yes, it rather did. Lots of duplicates, lots of spin-offs.
I'll let him have that one because, yeah, it absolutely did, and we really do appreciate it, Patient. So thank you for putting that together for us.
My pleasure. But if you don't mind, I would like to be the one who does the whole thing with the list, unless I'm not going to be here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just want you to send it to me just in case you're not here, is basically the idea.
Of course, of course. All right. So I believe if anyone else has a recommendation for an anime or animesque series that isn't on the Go-Go anime list, then feel free to suggest it and I'll put it on the list. I've already added one of my own.
Oh, that's a good point. We're actually going to have to keep that updated now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hey, Zero, guess what? You can be in charge of that since you watch every fucking anime announcement for the seasons.
I really don't, but okay.
Yeah, you really don't, even though you've, talked about every new anime list for every season since the podcast started.
Just,
Not really.
just email me when you get wind of a new anime coming out, and I'll put it on the list.
I only started doing the whole talk about anime whenever it starts up again because of Slicer, and he did it first.
All right, we'll talk to Slicer whenever he's on again, then.
I think Zero's just trying to voice blame, to be honest, but...
I think you're just trying to throw me under every bus you have, to be honest.
Yeah, it's awesome. You bounce when you come out the other end. It's hilarious.
Alright, so that's the random for this week, Regalia, 3 Sacred Stars.
Yay.
And now we move on to this week's topics. What's the first topic?
First topic is character decay and, in parenthesis, flanderization.
Casey, he just jacked your hosting duties, homie.
He did, but he didn't actually have anywhere to go with it because he didn't know the topics, so he had to hand it back to me. So that's fine.
I was just wanting to get things moving along to the next thing we had on the agenda, that's all. Wasn't trying to upstage you or anything.
I mean, we've had entire episodes where we didn't even get a topic.
No, you should always try to upstage him. That's how it goes.
See, you say that, but remember when I actually let you host an episode?
Me?
Ooh, hey, I discovered that you can't kick Zero, from what I can see, but you can mute him.
I can.
Right now.
No.
Right click on his name.
No.
Wait.
Yeah, but he's only muted for you. So
That's all
Is
I
he?
need.
Hey,
Muted
Zero, talk.
He's talking.
He says this is tyranny.
Blissful silence. Silence? Oh, I'm so happy I can't even use words anymore.
Neither can Zero, apparently.
Oh, no, he can't. It's fucking great, isn't it? He can bitch to all you guys all he wants, but I don't have to hear it.
He's just gonna, he can still chat.
Hi, Zero.
I don't think you can mute that, can you?
Love you too, Zero.
You make me so mad.
I try.
He says,
That made you mad?
I will not be silenced.
Yeah, you will.
Oh.
Whenever I feel like it now. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Okay. Alrighty. So, the character decay. That's what we were talking about. In parenthesis, flanderization. So, this is when, usually, because a show has gone on too long, but sometimes just because the writers get lazy, the character stops being who the character is. They either get devolved to just one particular quirk in the case of flanderization, which is that they become less and less of an actual person and more of just the quirk that they're known for and nothing else. Or the writers care less and less about them and don't even bother to get the character right, and there are constant inconsistencies.
As far as flanderization is concerned, you can see a lot of it in today's cartoons.
All of them. It's named for The Simpsons, but all of them.
Like, take, for example, shows that have gone on too long, like Fairly Odd Parents. Where every character is now just their trait. Or, say, for example, I believe SpongeBob has become a victim of this as well, that show.
Yeah. Patrick's just a dumbass now. He's not even funny.
Good thing it's ending.
It is?
Oh.
When's it ending?
So I've been told. Oh, let me Google this.
Okay. I can't wait to find out the day it ends so I can say I never in my life watched a single episode of SpongeBob.
Or hey, there's the show Teen Titans Go, which is let's just make a show
that's just awful.
about the funny adventures of flanderized cast.
I'm not even sure whether you could call that. I mean, technically they've existed for a long time. The characters have, but
I know, but you made a show where it was
the show
basically
started with that.
The show dumbed down pre-existing characters into flanderized versions, and
Which
is
pretty much
actually
what the concept is.
yeah.
I don't know
So
when
what
it's
you
ending.
yeah. What's your guys' opinion on this?
It's lazy.
It pretty much happens constantly in fan fiction.
Yeah,
I don't think I can. It's just the trope in itself. That's the fandoms exaggerate every single character, possibly just because that's easier to write.
what happen? As far as I'm aware, what happens more often in fan fiction is the writer will accentuate the negative points of characters they don't like and will invent positive traits of the characters they do like from whole cloth.
Indeed.
It effectively comes into the fandom though eventually, as in that's what the entire fandom is doing.
Yeah. The trope is called Ron the Death Eater for a reason, because people just decide he gets angry all the time, and that becomes his entire character, and angry people are evil, so Ron becomes evil. It's
Yeah, Casey, you're evil.
Was that ever in doubt?
Yeah, I'll agree with that sentiment.
Let's see, right click, and wait, which one was Kenshi?
I mean, I don't care if you mute me. I'll just sit here and read stuff.
Oh man, actually, Kenshi's clever. He's actually camouflaged. I can't tell which one's him and which one's Guy, because their avatars are the same.
Don't be silly, you're
50.
happy muting for us. You know
50
you are.
chance of getting me and Guy.
Or I have 100% chance by muting both of you fuckers, because I hate you both. So there we go. Problem fucking solved is how we do that.
The tyrant. No blood sacrifice shall satisfy Casey today.
I mean, he muted the two people that don't care.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
It's nice that I have the option now, though. I really like that.
I can mute you too.
Power.
You can, but that just means you basically won't be in the show anymore. Like,
I can
logically,
do it.
If
I can
you did
do
it, then, you would have muted the host, and I wouldn't be able to react to anything you're saying,
But I
and
could
vice versa. So I would have to mute you as well, so you just basically drop yourself out of the call.
gonna do a protest.
all right. We're getting off the issue here.
You're lucky you paid me recently, or else I'd be acting up a lot more.
I did do that today. It's almost like I planned this, but I very much didn't. All right. It's actually just because I'm really fucking late with doing the Patreon payments. Right. So, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, guy said I'm angry all the time, or someone did. I don't fucking know. And that I'm evil. I'm not evil.
Accentuating negative traits of characters you don't like and creating positive ones for characters you do like.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So that's basically the fan fiction approach to this most of the time. There are some outliers where people will just do this because they don't actually... This is going to sound a little pompous, but they don't get or don't bother trying to get the characters' more nuanced personalities and will just have them be their tics. So you will have... we keep pulling back from fucking Naruto, but Shikamaru is lazy. That's all he has to his character now. He's lazy, and he says troublesome a lot. Joji's fat, he eats, and Sakura
Sasuke's an edgelord.
hits people, and Sasuke is edgy and brooding.
To be fair, that's like a lot of anime as well.
Yeah, that's most of Sasuke's character, to be honest.
It is, yeah, actually, now that you mention it. So I guess that show did it.
You really don't have to go far to Flanderize him.
Yeah, you don't actually have to go far to Flanderize most Naruto characters, actually, now that you mention it.
It's almost like they can be described in 2 words most of the time.
I want to defend it here, but I feel like this is going to go into a very bad argument if I try to.
I'm not sure what you'd be trying to defend, Naruto,
Even if it does, that's the point. Proceed.
Yeah, debate.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, you can do a bit of that, but it's like a lot of the characters do have more to them. It's just how you want to present it. It's not really. You can't really. It's not really Flanderization in that sense. They've got a dominant trait, but most of them do have some nuance behind them. They've got reasons. And I suppose it's. I'm struggling here a little bit. I can't actually phrase it.
I think I get what you're saying. They do have nuance, but, you know, a lot of the time there is not a lot of reason to present it in canon or otherwise. And while, yes, it comes off as Flanderization a lot of the time, sometimes it's just because they don't really have reason or method to display that nuance. There's just the face of it, and that's all you get, because that's all the screen time they have time for.
Yeah, but take this podcast for example. I'm pretty sure we do it on the podcast. We define.
Casey's too British. That's all he has on him.
Yeah, you like Shakespeare.
I'm a Flanderization of myself.
Yeah, and I'm just miserable. Kenshi is Kenshi.
Thank you.
It wasn't a compliment.
To him it was.
It wasn't a compliment to me.
Oh! You know what I forgot to mention, Kenshi?
Hmm?
That anime, Romeo X Juliet. Juliet has your powers. She can magically grow hair.
Ew.
Yep. That was a thing in that show. Anyway.
Isn't that just a wig, though?
I have no idea how she would hide all of that hair in a wig, especially one with that short hair.
She had short hair. It wouldn't be that hard. People with longer hair have worn wigs, and it's worked out.
I don't think so. I think you're wrong about that, but...
I think I've been in theater and have done costumes. So, yeah.
Anyway, character decay is what we were supposed to be talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a lot of these cases with these with fan fiction, they don't even start off using the full 3D look at the character. They just start off with the traits they want accentuated. There's no breakdown of any.
Yeah, I mean, fanfiction, for what it is people writing the stuff that they want to write about. So if they don't care about a character, then they won't bother to give them depth. Whereas with an actual legitimized, air quotes, work, you're expected to give depth and meaning and interesting aspects of characters that aren't as important as the main characters, but they're still there and they're still kind of important. You can't just leave them aside.
I'll play devil's advocate to that. Say something like Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
What was Sauron's character? He's the main bad guy. He's the fundamental villain throughout the entire series. What was his actual character?
Undermining my own point, but the story wasn't about him.
But there's quite a few examples that I could pick of. Not every character needs to be deep, nuanced. Sometimes the Flanders character works fine. You can get a good story out of it, absolutely fine. You don't need the it can help. You can write a good story with a good, deep character. You don't need one.
No, you don't need all of them to be that, but you do need the cast to be that. I mean, I would actually argue that Sauron isn't technically even a character. He's just kind of the thing that the good guys need to stop. He's more of a force than an actual person with thoughts and feelings and emotions.
Yeah, this is kind of emphasized by how he's more likened to a giant eye than the actual person.
Yeah, you don't actually see him after he's defeated the first time. He is just the eye.
No, this is just my point of view for a guy who really doesn't know anything about Lord of the Rings. I didn't really care much for the movies. I saw like the first one. I kind of dropped after that. How did I go with the point of this topic, the ring itself? Like, I understood that, yeah, okay, it needed to be destroyed. It was evil. I just didn't understand why.
Because it was the source of his power, so if it was
The
returned
dude is
to
dead, though.
the seat of his power, where he still kind of lingered in the eye thing, the giant eye on the tower, then he could be brought back fully beyond just
It was a
being
plot
a big
device.
eye. Yes,
It was a big MacGuffin.
It was a Horcrux.
Yeah, do something with the MacGuffin, or else the MacGuffin has no purpose and is not a MacGuffin.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, really. You can criticize it quite easily, but it's still classic. It's a classic for a reason, sort of thing. It's very easy to write. It's very easy to write a good story, and it's a simple story that the readers can understand easily.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with simple stories, and there's nothing wrong with simple characters, but this is about taking characters that were complicated, and now are just bare bones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Simplifying complex characters is kind of the opposite of what you want to do. You want to take a character who at first you introduce with one trait and then add more layers and more depth to them as time goes on. Flanderizing them kind of destroys any and all progress you or the writer, if you're doing fan fiction, has made regarding that character.
I'd say if you have a complex character, fanfiction specifically, if you have a complex character and you're like, okay, I don't really need all of this nuance and interesting stuff for the sake of the story that I'm going to be writing.
Well, yeah, if they're not a main character,
But
there's no...
the problem becomes undoing all that depth. You can ignore it and just let it sit there, and it can kind of be there in the background if people are still thinking about it. But if you actually go counter to it, that's where the problems come in.
Yeah. Like, if that character is not important to your story, and they play a very bit role, it's fine. You don't need to go into everything in depth about them. That would just be unnecessary if it's, like, not necessary for your story. But you can't, at the same time, just act like that stuff never existed. Or make them do something that's wildly out of character. And Casey, you mentioned earlier...
A lot of that is subjective.
And Casey, you mentioned earlier people adding in traits to characters to make them more likable, characters they like. That's... I feel like I see that a lot more. Like, say, for example, in One Piece, where you have a lot of characters, but not every single one of them has a lot of screen time. So if a character if you focused on a more obscure character, you tend to add a lot to that character.
Yeah, it's a necessity in that instance, yes.
I'm actually thinking a lot about Worm. Just mentioning this because it's really, really bad in the Worm fandom. Which, of course, I can't really discuss that because nobody else is interested in that.
Is Woman good?
It's alright. Depends what you want.
It's very grim, it's very dark, it's very derp.
Not really. It's not as dark as people exaggerate it to be.
Sounds like my thing.
It does, actually. You did a crossover between Bloodborne and I think it was Is It Alright to Pick Up Chicks in a Dungeon? So yeah.
Oh,
Grim,
I
dark,
didn't
and
even...
derp
What,
is
you
kind
did?
of
I need to go
speech.
read that then.
Yeah.
I know both those franchises. Woo!
It's weird. Anyway.
So anyways, was I saying something? I can't remember.
You were talking about Worm.
Right. Yeah, in Worm, there's this character. She's a healer, and she's called Amy, and she's basically the fandom favourite. And I can think of at least a dozen stories off the top of my head where they've cut out the Worm protagonist, and they focus solely on her, and they've basically just made her, yes, she's all powerful, she's great, she's all of the characterizations. Forget her any of her issues or anything like that. She is basically just a Mary Sue at this point. And then there's a whole other characters, like any character that was awkward becomes completely socially inept and has to read off her prompt cards. All of the character traits are just exaggerated because they don't want to write that story about those characters. They want to write a different story, and they just force the characters into the mold.
Yeah.
So yeah, Worm is pretty bad for that. In fact, Worm's bad for a lot of things. The fandom.
Oh, yeah, it is. But, I mean, Worm specifically, I can see the thinking behind it is Worm is miserable a lot of the time. So people don't want it to be quite so miserable. So they write it to be not quite so miserable, and the character that they like succeeds, which I'm going to take a stab in the dark because it's Worm and say she doesn't in canon.
Point.
Yeah, so I can see the reasoning behind that, and that's your bargain bin fix it fic kind of thing that you're talking about right there. It's probably a lot less obvious in Worm circles. I mean, you see that all the time in any fandom. You'll just get stories where people will just fix everything, fix the characters, fix the plot, fix everything so everything turns out better. But for Worm, better is very relative. So better for Worm is actually probably kind of normal for most other stories. So it's less noticeable.
I would say better for Worm is worse for the story.
Worse for the story, yes, but by comparison to how other stories turn out is what I mean.
Right.
In universe.
Worm isn't really that dark, to be honest. People exaggerate it more than it is. It's more mild.
Didn't the main character have a Carrie kind of thing go on?
Yeah, but that's mild.
Okay,
For my son,
say so.
What is mild to you?
Bear in mind, this is the guy that turned One Piece into a torture fic, so, you know.
It wasn't a torture fic.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, your shit got dark, compadre.
It was not a torture fic, honestly.
There was literally several scenes where Luffy actually genuinely gets tortured.
Hello?
I don't know
Or he
whether he's
actually
just pretending
what?
not to listen to us.
No,
Sorry?
you couldn't hear you. You dropped out. I mean, others
Oh.
heard you. We did.
Yeah, okay. Never mind.
Zelda's my what? No one? Alright.
Last thing to mention on flanderization, I'm getting back to. Eventually you get to the point where the fandom starts treating their flanderized characters as canon. Effectively, all of the fan fiction starts writing them like that, and then they forget what any redeeming features about the character because they're focusing on that. Look at what happened to Sasuke or Kakashi even. It's a lot of that's the same in a lot of Naruto fics.
I would disagree. I think what happens, and what always happens actually, is there is that section of the fandom that decides these characters are the worst ever and just magnifies all of their terrible traits and ignores all the good ones. And then there is the backlash part of the fandom that sees this happening, gets incredibly sick of it very quickly, and goes out of their way to actually show what the characters were like in canon and portray them more accurately. It ends up looking a lot smaller because there's a lot fewer people that can pull off a good story that does that than a bad to mediocre story that does the other thing, but that's how it goes.
Yay!
Yay! Anyway, I guess we're done with that
I
topic.
just found out.
Yeah, I
I
think
just
we
found
beat
out
that
that
one to
Persona 5 is being delayed until April.
Ha!
April.
Oh.
What you
Yeah.
get?
How about for Europe? How about for Europe?
I haven't. It's probably going to be the same.
Why
No
would
one
it?
cares.
Why would it not be delayed for Europe? If it's being delayed for.
My concern was that it would be delayed further for Europe.
Yeah. They've said is it's delayed until April. They haven't said anything else.
Ugh.
But it's probably going to be delayed even further for Europe.
I can wait.
It's a good thing I've got no interest in Persona.
Yeah, it's because you're lame.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
In fairness, I only got into it from the fourth one.
The fourth one was the good one, so that makes sense.
I found fourth really boring.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Right clicking.
I'll-
Dun, 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 dun. Yep.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Okay, so what were we doing? Oh yeah, are we moving on to the next topic?
Do we have time left for the next topic, Casey?
We have about 25 minutes left, so probably not, because it's probably not a short topic.
What was the topic?
Villain decay?
Oh yeah.
I thought didn't we just talk about that one?
We talked
No, we talked about character decay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we were treating them as the same topic. Okay.
No.
Nope. Throw it on the list.
I think we actually have some stuff on the list again, so it's cool.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
God, we do have stuff on the list. Okay. Alright, Alright, so recommendations I get. By the way, RXM, you're unmuted, if you were concerned about that. Just thought I'd let you know.
Oh wait, what? I was muted.
That's the correct answer. Then.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was just saying, that the characters are flat and whatnot.
Alright, so recommendations. Who has them? Who has them?
I have one. Shit, hold on, I gotta pull it up.
Yep, if you could link it in the chat as well, by the way.
Yeah, I do that too. Probably should be playing Overwatch while doing this.
No, that's fine. They won't mind if you go off AFK without telling them. That'll be fine.
Yeah. Perfectly
Okay,
acceptable.
so
Remember to go
this
to
is
the
a
bathroom
freezing
after as well.
story. I'll just leave. Alright, so this is a freezing story. It's called Hearts of Ice. Main character Kazuya is able to fight on his own, can attack the Novas. That's nice and all, but that's not the gist of the story. The whole point of the story is that the top 10 Pandoras are candidates to become his partner or something like that. It's just purely drama. So while, yeah, all the Nova does happen, you do see a couple fight scenes. The whole premise of the story, the whole point of it is the whole relationship drama between Kazuya and a few of the other girls. Some of them are very shallow, some of them are genuine, others are just mental. And the author really goes into each character, shows them as a person, shows a little bit of their history just so you have a grasp of the personality, and it shows what they do with their personality in person. So rather than just telling, oh, this person is just a complete bitch, he'll actually narrate through a long chain scene of events on how great of a bitch she really is. And he manages to do this with most of the characters. Some of them do fall short, but that's my recommendation.
Okay. Anyone else got...
I do have one, actually.
Patient is echoey now. It's a little unnerving.
That's the point.
No,
Sounds
don't surprise like that.
I'm tempted to mute him, but I think he'll smite me if I do that now.
Okay, in seriousness, my recommendation is a Harry Potter time travel fic called Three's the Charm. This one averts your typical aversion to Peggy Sue stories, Casey. They don't stick much to the I have to keep my future knowledge intact, so I'm not going to change much. They don't have much of that mindset. They start changing things right at the outset. I mean, they tread softly to keep that. I should back up and say exactly what the plot is, shouldn't I?
Like hell.
Okay, so basically, spoilers for whoever hasn't read to the end of the Harry Potter book series. Basically, at the moment, around the moment that Harry deflects Voldemort's killing curse and it kills him, and basically at that instant where Voldemort is falling, an instant stretches into an eternity, and in that instant Harry reflects on everything that's happening, everything that's happened to bring them to that point, and the grief of what they've lost up to that point in the struggle overtakes him as he just looks at how it's affected everyone around him, how much they've lost along the way. In that instant, he locks eyes with Ron and Hermione, who both feel the same way, and in unison they wish that things could have been different. And essentially, because Harry is master of death, fate, or something along those lines bends to his request, and they're sent back in time to, what was the date? They're sent back in time to Harry's 11th birthday, right at the stroke of midnight, as Hagrid is coming back at the times and places that they were at that time with their memories intact. From there, obviously, they go about saving as many people as they can or planning to do so. And while they are determined to keep their covers as time travelers intact, they don't make much of an effort more than they have to prevent things from going straight to disaster, to keep the timeline flowing as they know it would without their interference. So it's 34 chapters, 142,000 words, and it last updated 2 days ago, so yeah, that's a good story, and it's updating regularly, so that's my recommendation.
Thank you, Echo God Patient One, for your recommendation.
I'm not a god, I'm but a servant.
You're using these Revelations quotes on me.
What quote?
Never mind. That's basically what an angel says in the Bible. Freaking
Yes, but I am
too
man.
good.
Now come.
Can we move on?
Yeah. I have another recommendation, but I think for risk of running out again, I'll save it for next week.
Good choice.
Fair play. Yeah, Kenshi knows all about that, so he's... Yeah.
Alright, so
Feel.
Guy, Zero, Kenshi, Casey, any of you have any recommendations?
I got
do
nothing.
not.
I blew my load last week.
Ew.
Ew.
But one of the fics was about explosions. It was apt.
If you say so. You could have phrased that so much better.
No, I think it's good. Oh.
All right, so I think we're done if nobody has anything else to say.
So no one else has any recommendations? Just those two? I could have sworn someone else said they did.
Hey, man, at least we have some.
Not wrong.
Kenshi, you got nothing?
I do not. You know I don't.
Surprising.
I'm trying to fix this. But I don't have the time, man.
Try reading some one-shots. They'll be nice and quick, and you can recommend them and be done with it.
Ooh, that's a good idea. All right, cool.
See?
Do that.
Casey's thinking of you. And for you. So I'd like to thank everyone for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 154. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel, through the comments. Please do it on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 154. Bye now.
Until...
Bye.
I think that cavalcade of was goodbyes, so bye, everybody.
Our house in the middle of the street.